Royce. Congressman Royce, you first. Do you believe, or don't you agree that there is a potential for a backlash or an unintended consequence if the president was initially more forceful, or if he really derives what's going on there now?
I think the criticism the Washington Post and others gave the president was because he, with his moral equivalency argument, what he had argued was that there wasn't really a difference between Ahmadinejad and his opponent, and that undercut the opposition. So that's the criticism of the president that he's gotten from the media. I think that what we're really confronting today, though, is a situation that's changed on the ground, and the injustice has to be commented on worldwide. And just as Ronald Reagan, despite the opposition from the Soviet media, forcefully commented on human rights and made sure that we had the broadcasting into the former Soviet Union so that people could have information with Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. It's equally important right now that every Iranian get access to information as state-run media is attempting to shut down information and is disseminating false information. There has to be surrogate television and radio. The U.S. is going to have to be more forceful in this regard in terms of making sure this technology stays alive at a time when the Iranian government's trying to shut it down.
I think that this will be beyond any government's power to control. I remember even in China, when I was over there, everyone had cell phones. Everyone, they can shut the internet to a certain extent. They can't block it out entirely. But Congressman Sherman, what about the unknown here, in a sense? I'm reminded of Secretary of Defense Rumsfeld saying, we don't know what we don't know. What we don't know here is where this thing ends, how this thing plays out. Will it result in widespread violence and social dislocation? What do you think? Isn't that a fear?
Well, I think the greatest fear is that Ahmadinejad and the supreme leader are able to establish total power in Iran. Unfortunately, I see more similarities with what's going on now to Tiananmen Square than I do to the Rose or Tulip or Orange revolutions. But that could change in a day or two as we see whether the labor unions, the ethnic minorities, and others, and especially the middle class, join the students and join Mossadegh's supporters.
Do you have any projection for us based on your own personal experience?
First, I would say my projection wouldn't be all that valuable, but second, I do think this is going to be more a Tiananmen Square, where there's a diminished number of people out on the streets, and then that diminished number is subject to attack by the forces of the regime.
Well, that would be a melancholy ending. I want to thank Brad Sherman and Ed Royce, Congressman.
And I hope I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah, me too. We'll be right back. A superb panel including former UN Ambassador John Bolton after this.